Woo! I am so exhausted. Hey guys, welcome to Oxman Garage. In today's episode of Project Triple Black 98 Mustang Cobra Coyote swap. You guessed it, we're doing exhaust. And towards the end of the video, I'll do a couple miscellaneous items of where I mounted items such as the power steering reservoir, the computer, just a couple odds and ends that I was taking care of behind the scenes. So first thing I'm going to be doing is get these BBK Coyote swap headers. These are the non-ceramic coated. These are just the chrome. We're going to get those in first, and I already did a quick test fit, and I guess you have to take the starter out. Otherwise, it's not going to fit on the driver's side. So we're going to get started with the headers, and then after that, we'll work our way back. You have this thing on jack stands, and you're doing this by yourself, get a jack stand to rest the header on there, because when you angle it up there, it keeps it pretty much like stationary on the mount. Make sure you have a light and whatnot so you can see what's going on. And I'm putting thread locker medium strength on all the bolts that I'm using. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Captain Hindsight, thank God you're here. What advice do you have for me? My advice to you is you should have put the headers on before you put the motor in the car. Alright, so we got the headers in the car, and man, that was a pain in the dick. I should have put the headers on the motor before I dropped it, but it's on there. Just some advice too on this is the driver's side. Make sure if you have the BBK swap headers, you are putting the steering shaft through the headers before you try and mount them. So that was an obstacle. And then the driver's side wasn't too bad, but you know, it was a challenge. I can't imagine if I had the stock K-member. So I have the tubular and it was a little bit easier. So now we're going to be doing the H-pipe. Alright, so now I'm putting the catback exhaust system on the car. And these exhaust hanger brackets are specific to the 98 Mustang. And I was lucky to get this from a junkyard. And I'm going to be cleaning these up. So if you have a 94 to 96, you definitely have the rear brackets are different. And then the 99 04 have this like square bracket in the back. So the 98 truly is a bastard year. So I'm going to get these in the sandblasting booth and get these all cleaned up and spray paint them. Fresh from the sandblaster. I get some paint. Alright, so we got the new hangers in. They've been sandblasted and painted. And new rubber bushing on there. Got those in there. There's a little WD-40 dripping on there. This is part of the Mac catback kit for the I think the 98 and above cars. So they're on there, looking good. Now I'm gonna hang the catback. All right, so this is where I'm at with the exhaust right now. So originally I was gonna put an H-pipe in, but I don't think that's gonna work out. It's gonna be a lot of angles and whatnot to get it to fit right there. So I'm going to be doing an H-pipe. So what I have here, these are all Walker joints here, and right here is actually a Headman headers part. This is a 3-inch flange to fit onto the socket of the header, and then I have a 3-inch Walker coupler right here, and then this is a 3-inch pipe, and then I have a 3-inch to a 2.5 inch, and then there's a sleeve inside there with a 2.5 inch socket. So my cat back is 2.5 inch, so I had to reduce it right there. So I'm gonna be putting an H-pipe in, and the H-pipe is gonna go like right here onto the other pipe over there. So had to do an H-pipe, no X-pipe. Alright, so I got both sides, and now I'm going to be doing the H-pipe. So what you want to do is, these pipes are still loose, I haven't welded them yet, but I made a hole on either side. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm taking this 2.5 inch hole saw, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm gonna be cutting it right there. And the nice thing is I can move these pipes, so once I move these pipes I'll make them both level on each side, and I'll just stick the pipe in first, and then I'll stick it all the way in so that I'll be able to put the other side in, and then I'll be able to tack it in. Alright, as you can see, I got my holes cut on either side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pipe and I'm going to be putting it in there, and then I'm going to draw the outline of the 3-inch pipe here with a Sharpie marker going around, and then I'm basically going to cut that on the pipe, and then I'm going to put it all the way in, and I should be able to fit it on the other side, and then I'm going to tack everything in. Alright, as you can see, I got that all outlined, ready to get cut. I'm just going to cut it right here, and then I'm going to be using my grinder and then making that shape right there. Alright, as you can see, I got my oval kind of shaped cuts. They're done. I'm just going to put that on now. Alright, so we got that H-pipe in now. Now I'm going to be doing little tack welds like here, on the other side, and just get it in place. I got a little bit of a gap, but the weld should fill all that in. But everything is tightened down. It's good to go. Just going to be tacking everything, and once it's all tacked in, I'm going to take all the bolts out, drop it, and then fully weld it all together. Alright, so here it is, all welded up. I'm not going to get close in on those welds because I'm not a welder, and yeah. But I did get penetration, and it's good to go. It's solid. It's a good one-piece H-pipe that's going to bolt right in, so I'm going to put that in now. Alright, there we go. So we got the H-pipe all bolted in and into the CAD back, and got the tailpipes all bolted in. I did put a heat shield back here in between the pipe and the gas tank bottom cover. If you watched my fuel episode, there was a little bit of melting there, so I didn't want to take any chances and just put a heat shield there. The H-pipe does hang down a little bit under the subframe connector, so I don't know, in the future gonna have to modify that somehow so it's not gonna be anywhere near the ground, or if I have a speed bump or get on a angle or whatnot. But the exhaust is all done. We'll get a exhaust clip at the very end. Alright guys, so before I do some exhaust video, I'm going to show you a few things that are mounted in the engine bay. One of which is the battery. This is a 3478 group battery, Optima Red top. And I bought this bracket that's mounted onto the frame rail next to the fender well. And I'll put a link in the description of where you can find that if you're using that type of battery, where you put it in your trunk or you're going to put it in the existing battery location. So next thing is the coolant reservoir. So I was able to mount it on the radiator support on the top. I made these little aluminum tabs and cut them to length and used the existing bolt and stud locations that are on the top of the radiator support. Third is the power steering reservoir. How I mounted this was, this bracket back here is from a Crown Victoria, and basically what it is, I cut the bottom off and then I basically just bolted it to the fender well, and it's on there, not going anywhere. I did put the wheel well cover on, and I really didn't get to show you guys how I mounted my computer. I basically used a long stock of aluminum, and I basically bolted that to the aluminum piece, and then I bolted the back part right here on the fender well. So in a future video I'll show you guys how I mounted the computer, but for right now it's bolted right there inside to kind of a little cleaner look of the wires and whatnot. So if you guys liked what you saw in this video and you have any comments, questions, comment below in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up, and without further ado, we'll have a exhaust video.